Good morning, guys. We are starting this video out with me in the garden picking my first cabbage of the season. So exciting. Getting the leaves off first. And then we're going to bring this in the house and make something lovely out of it. Now later on, I give all of these leaves to the chickens, and they were all gone the very next day, so they loved them, especially the ducks and the turkey. There you go, a nice tight head of cabbage. I'm very happy about it. So now we're in the kitchen, and we are going to ferment this cabbage and make some sauerkraut out of it. Should have taken that off yesterday. We washed it ahead of time, so we'll see some water come off of this because we just washed it before we started the video.
Oh my gosh, there's a big herd of deer out here.
So after trying to cut the core out, I realized I'll just cut it out this way. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this by hand because we are only doing one head of cabbage because my other 5 aren't ready yet. And I've never fermented cabbage, but I'm going to show you guys an easy way to do it without the extra things that you have to buy, or you kind of feel like you have to buy before you have start a ferment. So because I've never fermented before, but I've done lots of canning, we're going to go ahead and do this the easy way and see if we like fermenting in the first place. Now I saved the core of the cabbage because we're going to use that later on as our weight. This is how you get away without buying the ferment kits that are, I don't know about you guys, they seem a little bit on the expensive side. Maybe if I pick one up in the fall, it won't be as expensive as spring or summer, when all of this stuff seems to be at the height of when canning is, but a lot of people can in the fall as well. Now I'm trying to make these really uniform cuts and staying away from the chunkier pieces that are in the cabbage. You can kind of see here and there that there's some pretty chunky pieces. If I find those in there, I take it out and put it on the side, like this piece here. Piece that got away from me. I'm taking out the chunky pieces not because there's anything wrong with them, but you want them close to the same size as the other pieces so that everything ferments at the same rate. It really doesn't take that long to cut up a cabbage. And when it's only one, who cares if you are using a food processor or not? I only use that when I'm really got a lot to do because it does make the job a lot faster. Now the reason why I decided to ferment this cabbage because I've always wondered what fresh fermented cabbage tastes like, because I hear a lot of my homesteading friends brag, or not brag is not the right word, talk about how good it tastes compared to store-bought cabbage. And the store-bought cabbage has so much salt in it. I can't eat it. Even this does, but not nearly as much as the store would have. And that is all chopped up. Now I have some Redmond's real salt here. You don't want to use iodized salt in any way. It messes with the chemicals that happen when you ferment, or the gases, actually, not chemicals, but gases, when you use iodized salt. So don't use that kind. Avoid it. So it doesn't have to be Redmond's real salt, but just make sure that your salt does not have that in there. Now I'm going to do this about 5 to 10 minutes, really massaging it really good. It's a good recipe to do when you are having a frustrating day. If you want to get some of your emotions out, you can just pretend you're wringing somebody's neck if you need to. Just kidding. But anyways, it kind of feels good just to get in there and really massage that cabbage. Get it in between your fingers. You couldn't do it with anything else other than your hands. So you can really feel when you're in there, there's a change in the consistency. It seems like it's half the size as it was before, and it's broken up a lot. Now I'm making about half of the brine that they suggest. They suggest you make another same size container as you're using, and putting a whole tablespoon in that as well. But I put half a tablespoon because I'm using half of the size of the jar. Now, I got some water runoff here. I've let this bowl sit for about 30 minutes almost. You can just let it sit for 15 minutes. I mean, it's really kind of a fast recipe. You can do with, you know, if you have half an hour to an hour, you can get this done, and just keep it close on your countertop, and you can check on it every day, or check on it every 3 days. And I mean, it's really this simple: salt and water and cabbage. Now, when I'm stacking this in there, I'm putting in a little bit in at a time. I'm really pushing it down hard, guys. I'm really packing this in. This head was probably about 2.5 pounds. And so I'm really making sure that my whole head can fit in here. So it went in excellent. So it wasn't a problem, but we really are making sure that we pack it down. Layer by layer. I am such a messy cook. I can't believe how much I drop on this side. I should have maybe just used my canning funnel to do this, but you know, I don't like doing dishes, so who does? So why dirty one more thing? It's easy to wipe off a counter. Sorry about the dogs playing in the background. They can get really loud. Two Labradors, they get playing and it sounds like they're killing each other sometimes. Have to give it a little taste. You can see my eyebrows go up because I'm pleasantly surprised how good it tastes. Even at this stage. There they go again. Now they're bugging the older dog. Now this is all the brine that's left in the bottom, so I'm going ahead and putting that in my dish or in my container, jar. And you want to inch ahead space so you have time to get your weight in there if you're using a weight. It does rise up a little bit when you put this extra brine in there. You want it totally covered in water or the brine because you don't want it getting black on top. So any of the little floaties, you want to push that all down in there. So this top might turn a little yucky looking, but it's okay. It only matters about the brine or the stuff that we're actually going to eat. You don't want it getting too gross. So. Okay, now we put the lid on and Shazam, it is done. And this is where I'm keeping it on my counter, next to the bread. Okay.